Okay then, Ed. Yeah, it does feel a bit different, yeah? So if we look at these kind of before and after, the left-hand one here, Ed's the before, okay? Grip-wise, like I said, a little bit strong, but the fact you're not really hooking something, so I wouldn't really worry about, if this change now being more on top and a bit more release of the club, we start getting a few pulley draws, we might go, okay, this grip then becomes a fault. But until that becomes an issue, this grip now is a characteristic of your golfing, okay? There are a lot of guys on TV, I would say Dustin Johnson, Zach Johnson, got really strong grips. Other guys got really weak grips. It's just a characteristic of their golf swing, okay? Don't change based on what's not textbook just because it doesn't look right, okay? If the ball's hooking left, then you change it. If it's not, leave it, okay? Now, in terms of them, these green lines, I'm just going to showcase your backswing as you going back. Before, you can see in the takeaway, before that club's kind of gone halfway back, half your head has moved off that green line, and you're dropping down a little bit there, and there's actually daylight now between where you started to where you've gone. So a lot of movement laterally off the golf ball, which then requires a lot of movement now kind of back to the golf ball. If you time it right, hit a good shot. If you didn't get back far enough to the golf ball, your club would bottom out a bit behind the golf ball. And then through the ball, this sort of holding off of the club face, what we'll see now is a slightly sort of shorterish follow through there. That's kind of your full release there, compared to this on the right-hand side now. As you go back, stay. It's going to be a little bit, but staying on that line for the most part. There's a bit towards the end now, kind of just sort of completing the backswing as we get to the top. Now as we come back to the golf ball, a better release here. Just watch the fuller swing now. So that release of the arms now has got that club. Basically what I look to try for a full shot, not necessarily shorter shots, but full shots of 200 yards is, I want the golf club to be near the target than the hands. If the hands are and the club's back here somewhere, you haven't really kind of released that club that well. You kind of held it off and you just can't keep going. Okay? And that's what feels quite tight and a bit kind of stiff and rigid because you're not allowing that kind of free release of the club. So get yourself in a looser kind of setup, and just again we're trying to get a little bit less of that sort of sway off the golf ball. Certainly beforehand was always going to be more. I mean, you would bend the knees quite a bit and almost drop your head slightly as you're going back. There's a lot of movement there early, okay, and then sort of complete the backswing. This now is less movement early, but a bit toward the end to complete the backswing. Now again, that's always kind of going back into your old movement slightly. What I would suggest is that if you hit these sort of like blocky, cutty, not very good strike ones, chances are you stay on top of the golf ball nicely, but then you've moved a long way to target and just basically have no space, and just you can't square the club face up. So you'll block it way out to the right there probably, or you cut it to the right there, okay? But it's getting yourself over the ball there. We rotate the right side away, keep the right side back as the arms kind of fall down, then we can release it through to target. If we're moving to the right and then to the left, given 20 balls, you hit the ball good, to be fair, but it just requires too much timing and reacting to get the ball straight rather than just like, oh, here's the ball, hit it. So when you're not playing your best, at least it will go kind of straightish, but could be a little bit mishit or a little bit whatever. It's not going to be a massive deviation. Your distance, 200 yards, and even a 7-iron, slightly off is going to be a long way off, isn't it?
It was weird. It actually felt a lot for the same amount of distance. It felt like I was.
Exactly. Because the way it was with less effort with your arm and the torso, the club's kind of sort of that kind of whiplash sensation rather than sort of pulling the button of the golf club. If you try and pull the handle of the club through, the handle works fast, the club works slow, and the club's wide open. Then you have to try and pull your body to the left to try and get it square at the club face. And there's more body movement, more body effort, and the ball's just not going to go as far anyway. But staying back and allowing that club to kind of almost snap release squares that club face up. Okay, mate, makes sense? Good man, very good.